Hello there. This is Mr. Dunaway, and welcome to Chapter 5, Section 5, Proportional Relationships. And as I was previewing this section, I think this is really easy for you. And the hard part is understanding the vocabulary and exactly how to find what it is they're asking you for. So I hope you don't feel too confused. You can see this is just one page of notes here, but there's a lot in here as we discuss basically the three words that you see highlighted here: proportional, constant of proportionality, and non-proportional. And simply put, I need you to be able to identify if two quantities are proportional. They are proportional if they have the same ratio or rate. I'm going to show you how to find that. If they are proportional, only if they are proportional, then they have something called this constant of proportionality. And if they're not proportional, then it's just not proportional. And simply put, you're going to be able to identify those three things for me. So again, this is right out of the book, and I found it very confusing. So I'm going to try to explain to you what this particular part of the notes is trying to tell you here. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to divide these two things in half here because it's kind of two separate things that they're looking at here. So I want to just look at the one on the left here and try to show you what it is they're trying to teach you with this. Okay, so here's what it says. It says the total cost per the number of wristbands. Okay, cost per wristbands. So this one right here, what it says is it costs well, let's just assume it's dollars per 4. Okay, so let's go down here, and you're going to have to kind of squeeze it in there. Hopefully you have a nice skinny pencil lead where we're going to make a little chart that shows, first of all, right here, we're going to say the number of wristbands. Okay, there. And over here, we're going to do total cost. I'll just put T for total cost. Okay, now what you really have happening here is the total of wristbands. If we were graphing this, that would be X, and the total cost would be Y, because the cost depends on the number of wristbands. And if we look at the first one here, it says you paid $6 for 4 wristbands. Okay, so 4 wristbands cost 6. All right, look at the second one here. The second one said that 6 wristbands cost 9. Do I have that right? 6 wristbands cost 9. All right, the third one here says that 8 wristbands cost, where is it? 8 wristbands cost 12. And the last one there says that 2 wristbands cost 3. Okay, so we want to know, is this proportional? All right, so here I'm going to say proportion, question mark. Now, notice I'm leaving a lot of space over here. You're going to need that later as we want to know, as we're going to do the same thing with this one on the right here for us. So just give yourself a little space there as you're doing this problem, okay? All right, is this proportional? Well, here's how you figure out, is this a proportion or not? Now, up here they tell you it has a constant, ratio, or rate. And the truth is a ratio is determined by division. Okay, so what we want to do to determine, we want to take the y value and divide it by the x value. Okay, see how I put y here and x here? So for the first one, the total cost was 6, so we're going to go 6 divided by 4. All right, if I take 6 divided by 4, that's 1.5. All right, well, let's try the same thing for a number for the second one. 9 divided by 6. And you can check me on a calculator here. 9 divided by 6. All right, my calculator says 1.5. So this might be proportional. If every single one of these is the same, then it is proportional. 12 divided by 8. That is also 1.5. How about the last one, 3 divided by 2, which is 1.5. All right, now, because these are all the same, then we can say yes, this is proportional. I'll just say this is a proportion. Okay, now the other thing that we need to say here is that the constant of proportionality, this is a new word for you, is 1.5. Okay, so this value here, this is the constant of proportionality if it is a proportion. So hear me say that it only exists, a constant of proportionality only exists if it is indeed proportional. Okay, so like I said, it has to be a proportion for there to be a constant of proportionality. All right, why, again, review. Why do I know it's a proportion? Why did I say yes? Because all of these are the same. Okay, so if you can find one that is not the same as the others, then it's not a proportion. All right, and let's take a look at the other one here. So I'm going to move over to kind of the right-hand side, and I don't have quite as much room here because I wasted some space on the left, but we'll try. All right, so here we have the number of necklaces. So this is a different product. I'll just say number of neck, and I'll abbreviate here since I wasted the space on the left-hand side. Number of necklaces here, and here we'll put total cost. All right, the number of necklaces. All right, over here we're going to ask ourselves, is this a proportion? Proportion. All right, now going back, the number of necklaces. Okay, so that's going to be my X, and the total cost is going to be my Y. Now, typically in a chart, okay, the left-hand side is X and the right-hand side is Y. There's ways that you figure that out, but for the sake of this, we'll just do that. All right, so the number of necklaces, so the first one is right here. Okay, so the first one, the number, it's 4 necklaces, costs $6. Okay, so is it a proportion? Well, we're going to take Y divided by X. Obviously, calculators are going to be quite handy for us because you're going to get a lot of decimal values here. 6 for 4, that would be 1.5. What you're doing here, by the way, is that's the unit rate. Over here, the constant of proportionality, that's the same thing as the unit rate because you're really just finding the cost of one. You just want to know, is it the same for all of the different combinations that they sold them? Okay, so 4 necklaces for $6. That's 6 divided by 4 is 1.5. Let's do the same thing for the next one here. 10, the cost is 10. The number of necklaces is 5. Okay, so Y is 10 divided by 5. 10 divided by 5 is 2. Is that the same? Okay, it's not the same. So we can stop right there. Since that's not the same, this is not proportional. All right. And you may be wondering, well, why would that be? Well, sometimes when you buy things, like if you buy more, maybe they sell it for a lower price per item. Like typically it wouldn't be like the example here where you're actually paying more per item on the second one. But oftentimes if you will buy more necklaces, they often might cost it, they might charge you fewer dollars per necklace in doing that. So that's the first part for us here. So you saw everything you need to do in this video. Is I'm going to stop it and then do the example problems in my next video for you here in a minute. Okay, so constant of proportionality, you find that only if it is proportional. If it's not proportional, then you just stop. You say this is not proportional. There is no constant of proportionality in the one on the right there. So hopefully that's a nice introduction for you, and we will pick up the second video here momentarily.